This is the demo of the site we use in the WordPress REST API and AJAX pages and forms talk/workshop. This is the test site 49plus.co.uk/Udemy, and we're on the home page here. I'm going to open up DevTools, which could either be F12, or if you come up into your three dots, depending on what browser you're in, we go into More Tools, Developer Tools. Some of the tabs that will be useful are the console and the network there, console. You can drag these across if you wish. So we'll keep with console. Let's go to the AJAX page, and we can sort of see that we now have effectively a single page application because we have two components. If we click on this, notice how we don't refresh the page. We're getting back from what I call the hello world of the REST API, that it's WP/v2/posts. It brings back the latest 10 posts. We can see them here, and we'll go into these different types of responses and into the array and all this JSON data. But if we notice here, we can also get our own custom endpoint that's using a custom MySQL table that I've created, and you can see now that it's basically a single page application working on the page. We can extend that with the search facility. This is an inbuilt endpoint, and if we click that, once again we see our data array on the right hand side. We see a list of all the information we get back with posts. We have the ID, which is here. We have title, which is actually title.rendered, and we'll go how we can actually get these bits of information out onto the page. So if I change this to PHP, and we'll see what else comes back. Without resending the page to the server, we can do it all client side. A basic form is this post, and again it's a custom endpoint that I've made. What you're probably noticing is that up to WP-JSON is kind of the REST API. Everything after that is, the first two is the namespace, and then this is the sort of the root, shall we say, or the sort of the page within that REST API. So I'm going to do test 1, and this is just the post form logged out. Let's send that. We can see what we get back here. Notice we're getting a status, so we can examine that, and I'm just displaying it here. And if we go into posts in the home page, we will see that post has been placed there. I'm going to do that now with the nonce and explain that, but I'm just going to log in now just to give a different example of this. We're going to log in. We're going to go to the REST API. We're going to go to this post nonce. And what this does, this sends a token, a unique token that will identify that the data sent has come from this page on this site rather than from an attacker site. So I'm going to do post to test logged in, and I'm going to display a lot more information coming back. As you can see here, I'm just debug information. But if we look back here, we can see there was a session ID because we're logged in. There's this form nonce, which I've displayed both on the form data and also as a header, which we can see if we scroll down here. When we see the code, we'll see that we're spitting out all the headers. We can also send that nonce via headers rather than form data. So we've sent that. If we go to the home page, what we'll see is there's that second post. We will also cover how we create nonces and check and verify them, and there's some useful information on this page. So that is the site that we use in the WordPress REST API AJAX forms and pages. All the code is given so that you can chop it about, change it, work with it and learn more. There's also a handout that comes with it for information and how to set up the site. So that is WordPress REST API and AJAX forms and pages.